Welcome students to English class, CBSE Writing Skills Formal Letter. Now what is a letter? A letter is also a means of communication. As we communicate with one person, we use different kinds of language. Letter is also a kind of language. A letter is written message conveyed from one person to another person through a medium. Letters can be formal and informal. Besides a means of communication and a storehouse of information, letter writing has played a role in the reproduction of writing as an art throughout history. Letter writing is not so easy, it is an art. From time immemorial, if you know children, kings also used to deliver letters to other kingdoms. Here it says that letter writing is an art. You need to pay attention while writing. Now, what is a formal letter? Letters are of different kinds. What is a formal letter? A formal letter is a letter written in formal language in the stipulated format for official purpose. However, a letter written in a friendly manner or informal language to someone you are familiar with is called informal letter. So formal letters are all official letters for official purpose, written to somebody you're not familiar with or you know not. Whereas informal letters are in informal language. They are to your near and dear ones. It could be your father, your friends, or any other family members that you know. So this was formal letter. Now let us go for layout or the format for formal letter. A formal letter includes the following. Children, you should know very well and remember these are the things which you need to put while you are writing a letter. The letter contains sender's address, date, receiver's address, subject, salutation. Then it has body, which is divided into three categories, which has introduction, content, and conclusion. Then you have complimentary closing, then the sender's name, designation, if any. Now let us see what is sender's address. The address and contact details of the sender are written here. It includes the email and the phone number of the sender if mentioned in the question. Date. The date on which the letter was written. Now the receiver's address. The address of the recipient of the letter. It could be the office, principal, editor. It is written here. Now remember children, sender's address and receiver's address are always there in the question. The question provides you these two things. You don't have to think or you don't have to write your own address or your friend's address unless asked. We have a subject of the letter. The main purpose of the letter, it should be written in one line. Yes, children, this is also a letter, children. The question provides you always answers. It is the question which provides the answer. So that is why it is a question, since it carries the answer. Now the subject of the letter, the main purpose of the letter, it should be written in one line. Children, those who read these letters, they are not free man having no work. They all are busy. If they know the cause, then they could go through the whole of the letter. That will be easy for them and for the work. Then we have salutation, or you could call greeting. If gender is provided, you can go for madam or sir. By default, we always take sir. Now we have the body, which is divided into three parts. The introduction, it is of yourself and the purpose of writing the letter. Then we have the content, the details of the letter. Then you have the conclusion, concluded by mentioning what you expect. It could be a solution to a problem, to highlight an issue in the newspaper, or any other thing which you expect from them or which you want them to do for you. Then you have complimentary closing. Finally, you have the sender's name and the designation, if any. Now, these two things will also be provided in the question. I've told you before, the question carries the answer in it. You just have to read the questions. Sender's name, it will be there, children. If not any, you can go for XYZ or ABC. Do not get confused. So let us see again what are the contents of a formal letter. Sender's address, date, receiver's address, subject of the letter, salutation, body, complimentary closing, sender's name and designation. Now this is the layout of the letter, or you could also call the format. Let us see. We have sender's address, date, receiver's address, subject, salutation, content, subscription, sender's full name, designation. One thing you should be clear about, children, you can see in between each thing there's a space given. This is the layout. While attempting this question, while writing this question, be very particular about leaving spaces when you write. We have sender's address, date, receiver's address, subject, salutation, content, subscription, sender's full name, designation. When I come to subject and salutation, many places you can find children salutation first and then subject. Most of the schools and mostly official purposes, we provide the subject first. But if you are also alternating the two things, this is not a bit of a very big problem. If you get confused, you can use it. Nowadays people use it, but never forget to write the two things. It's very important. So let us see next. Marking scheme for letter writing question in CBSE. You attempt, you expect. Here you see the marking scheme. Simply writing will not do. Let us see how is the mark divided. For format, you get 1 mark. As I told you, never forget to write everything with proper spacing. We have content, which is of 4 marks. Content contains creativity in presentation of ideas, skills of reasoning. Then we have expression for 3 marks. It contains coherence and relevance of ideas, grammatical accuracy, appropriate words and spellings. So your marks depends on the format, content and the expression. Let us go for next. There are types of formal letters. We have letter to editor, the letter to the government, to the police, order letter, complaint letter, inquiry letter and application letters. There are few rules to follow in formal writing. Firstly, relevancy and conciseness. The writer needs to be specific in his purpose of writing and should stick to the point. It should be short enough so that the reader can read it in a few seconds rather than long hours. I had told you before, children, the people who are reading your letter are not sitting free. They are very busy. You should write in such a way so that they could read and they could get the idea. It should be short, to the point. Don't go along beating around the bush. Come straight to the point, stick to it. So that was relevancy and conciseness. We go for next. It is grammar and spell check. A letter full of mistakes creates a bad impression. So check for spellings, punctuations and sentence structure should be revised. It's very important, children. Grammatical errors, do not let go. Check for spellings. Punctuations and sentence structure should be revised. If you find a mistake in your letter, better write it again than delivering the same mistaken letter. So now you go for the third point, which is accurate tone of language. Now tone of language is very, very important to get the proper response. Take proper care of the use of language. The use of slangs and colloquial languages should be avoided. See, children, the one who is reading your letter should feel respected. It should be a respectful and courteous letter. So better go for a clean tone, that is accurate tone of language. So these were the three things or the rules you should follow while writing formal letters. Let's read again. It's relevancy and conciseness, grammar and spell check, accurate tone of language. Let's go for next. Now here I provide you some sample letters. Firstly, we go for letter to the editor. See, we go to question. You are Harshi or Hashim, a resident of A20 Aurobindo Marg, New Delhi. You are deeply troubled by the sale of alcohol to underage people. Write a letter to the editor of the Hindustan Times drawing attention to this problem. Before I read the content, I'd make one thing very clear, though ironical, the spaces are not provided because of lack of space. But while I read, I'll tell you where to put the space, and do not forget to do the same when you write it. It is not here due to lack of space. So no space due to no space. You can call. So let's see. First we have sender's address. It is given in the question. Remember children, while I read, keep one thing in mind. Every little detail is there in the question. The question has the answer in it. You just have to find it out. So A20 Aurobindo Marg, New Delhi, the sender's address. Then we go for date 18 April 2020. Then we have the receiver's address, the editor, the Hindustan Times, New Delhi. Now here you can see children, punctuations are avoided. Better avoid. Do not put after the end of a line or anything, Keep it neat. Full stop would do. Then we have salutation. Then we have subject. As I told you before, most of the schools, though they prefer subject and salutation, yet others go for sir and that is salutation and subject. So it's not a big problem. If you even interchange the things, it will do. Now subject, sale of alcohol to underage people. Now see, as I told you, questions always provide answers. So subject is taken from the question itself. Sale of alcohol to underage people. I'd like to draw the kind attention of all the authorities concerned towards the above mentioned problem through the columns of your esteemed daily. It has been my observation for quite some time now that many young people who are consuming alcohol are still in teens and some are around 20. The government vending shops located in almost every residential colony market do not even ask for identification or age proof. If ever they do so, they are easily bribed by a few hundred rupees. This sale of liquor to underage people leads to many of the problems our country is facing today. Youths who drink together do not know the limits of consumption, and this often leads to intoxication, uncontrollable behavior, emotional problems, and others. So, I shall be grateful if this letter is given an appropriate space in your newspaper. Yours faithfully, you can write Harshi or Hashim. The two names are given for sender. You can choose for, if you are a boy, you can go for Hasim, or if you are a girl, you could go for Harshi, or it depends on you, whichever name you take. That will do. But the name should be from the question. If the question has provided a name, better take from there. And don't go for any Tom, Dick or Harry. Otherwise, if no name is given, go for XYZ or ABC. Let's see the next. A letter placing order. Write a letter to Delhi Sports, Daryaganj, New Delhi, placing an order for sports articles, minimum 4 articles, to be supplied to your school. Sign as Ravi or Ravina, Sports Secretary. Now before I go for all others, I'd like to tell you, see, there's the name of a school given, Happy Time Public School. You may question, where is the name in the question? Now here children, though there is no mention of Happy Time Public School, but you could see that the sender is the sports secretary of his school. So in such questions, if there is such a question, you can add the name of any school. You can take your own school's name also. So Happy Time Public School, Bhajanpura, New Delhi. There is a space, though there is no space here. Better put a space after that. 19th January 2020, there's a space. The manager, Delhi Sports, Daryaganj, New Delhi. Then we have a subject, placement of sports code. Subject is also given in the question. Dear sir, that is salutation. You can also go for sir or madam. This has reference to the quotation dated 19th December 2020. Kindly send the following items at the above address. We have to provide a list. So I have made 3 columns. You can see here name of the item. We have number of items. Then we have the remarks. That is, the brand you want or any other particular things you want. You want to give any particular information about the things you have ordered. We get here football, 10 in number, and it could be from anywhere. We don't have any particular choice. We have cricket ball, 10 in number, and yes, we go for leather balls. Then we have tennis ball, 20 in number, and a particular brand we want, that is Vicky. You can write any other brand also. Then we have cricket bat, 10 in number, and there's no preference. So this is the list we provide, and minimum 4, as is in the question asked. All the items should be in good condition, well bound and packed properly, and delivered within a week. The payment will be made by cash once the item reaches. Any damage during transportation would be your responsibility. Yours faithfully, Ravina, Sports Secretary. You can write Ravi or Ravina. As I told, it is you who is free to choose any name. Let's see the next. It is a letter of inquiry. You are Rama or Ramesh of D105 Lajpat Nagar, New Delhi. You want information about German language courses at German Embassy, Chanakyapuri, New Delhi. Write a letter to the director inquiring about the same. So here also you get all details. Sender's name is given, the topic is given, address is also given. Let us go to the content or the letter. And yes, as I have told you before, I repeat the same thing. Please give proper spacings. Here it is not provided due to lack of space. So sender's address D105 Lajpat Nagar, New Delhi. There should be a space, then the date 26th of January. There's a space, then receiver's address. The director, German Embassy, Chanakyapuri, New Delhi. Then there is a space. We have subject, inquiry regarding German courses. Then we have a space, then dear sir or madam. I wish to make certain inquiries about the German language courses offered by your institution. I have just completed class 10 and want to pursue my career in German. I'd like to know the duration of the course, the fee structure, and the transfer facilities provided. I'll be grateful if you could send me the brochure along with the enrollment form enabling me to register myself for the course at the earliest. Yours faithfully, Rama. Now the next. This is a letter of complaint. The insanitary conditions in your colony are causing multiple diseases. Write a letter to the municipal commissioner bringing the problem to his notice and request him to take urgent action in the matter. You are Deepak or Deepa of C2/8 Ankur Enclave, New Delhi. So sender's address C2/8 Ankur Enclave, New Delhi. There's a space. Now the date 20th of January 2020. There's a space. Recipient, the Municipal Commissioner, Shadara, Delhi. There's a space. Dear sir, here you see we have taken salutation first. Then subject, insanitary conditions in the colony. I have been a resident of Ankur Enclave for the past 11 years. I would like to bring to your notice the insanitary conditions in our colony. Rubbish and garbage lie in heaps. Lack of drainage system raises a persistent foul smell in the area. During rainy season, water stagnates in pits on the street. These become the breeding ground for mosquitoes, which expose the residents to multiple diseases like dengue, malaria, etc. Our colony has become an unhealthy and disease-prone area. You are requested to take an immediate remedial action to get things right. Thanking you, yours faithfully, Deepa. You can go for Deepak, as I told you earlier. The next. Here we have questions. These are the questions for you. The first question, you are Shubham or Subhi Tyagi of 1 Ashok Road, Lucknow. You are deeply concerned about the increasing number of road accidents in your area. You strongly feel that reckless driving by the youngsters is the primary cause of such accidents. Write a letter to the Traffic Police Commissioner requesting him to take prompt and appropriate action. Give concrete suggestions to deal with the problem. The next question. You are awaiting your Class 10 results. Meanwhile, you would like to do a short-term course in personality development. Write a letter to the Director, Personal Care, Pune, inquiring about the details about the course. You are Akash or Akanksha of 250 Shivaji Road, Pune. The third question. As head of the music department of your school, write a letter to Hyderabad Music House placing an order for some music instruments. You are Anvita or Anil of DIPS School, Rohini, New Delhi. The fourth question, you are Chitra or Chitranjan, 55 Brindavan Lane, Bengaluru. Write a letter to the editor of a local newspaper expressing concern at the misbehavior of the auto rickshaw drivers in the city. See children, I wish you all to do these questions which will help you understand the format, the process and the rules. If you write those letters, they will make you have a clear idea about. So thank you for watching children. Best of luck to all of you.